Welcome to episode 40 of the FoodGrads Podcast, the podcast where we explore careers in the food, beverage, and agricultural industries. I'm your host, Veronica Hislop, a molecular science graduate student and career partner with FoodGrads. This week on the podcast, I interviewed Chloe Hoang, product developer assistant at Give & Go Foods. Give & Go Foods is a Canadian manufacturer of premium frozen, thaw, and cell-baked goods. Give & Go produces a wide range of desserts and sweet baked goods that are sold to leading retailers and food service operators across the world. In this episode, Chloe and I talked about what it is like working at Give & Go Foods and how her love of baking led her down this path. We talked about why it is important to ask questions in both school and in your career, and why she chose Niagara College for her degree in Canada. Chloe also talked to me about her transition from college to the workforce and how she managed to stay positive during this time she was applying for jobs by learning from each new experience. Chloe has this burning passion for product development that really shines through in this episode. So if you need to pick me up to remind yourself why you love the food industry so much, then make sure to give this episode a listen. So enough with that introduction, let's get on to the show. Chloe, thank you so much for coming on the show. I'm really looking forward to this conversation and just knowing more about you because you seem like you have this bright energy to you and this hardworking mentality, and I just want to bring it out on the show. So thanks for coming.
Thank you so much. It's really my honor when I can share my story with people. I will try my best.
Well, I think that if you are so willing to share, I'm 100% positive we're going to get something good out of there. Let's just get started and let's talk about what you do right now, and then we'll kind of talk about the journey going there. So could you tell me more about your role at Give & Go Foods and what you do there?
Okay, I think the Give & Go Prepare Foods is one of the companies which people all know about it if we in the food industry. But just to be sure for people who not really know about it, so the company is under the Mondelez International umbrella. So we as the one of the top sweet baked good provide in North America. And people will know us about the 2x Kimberly cookie and cupcake, and create a treat like a many product you can see at Costco or Walmart or any grocery store. So right now, my current position is food product developer assistant, and I just started last year, right after I graduated, and I'm still new for the company. But yeah, I have really learned a lot from everyone here. When working at Give & Go, I get a chance to understand the full process of how a product to get the commercialized, and I can see how different departments work together and how baking products are made at the production facility and test at a plant trial, and how the project is managed and complete. And I even have a chance to have to minimize the impact of the rules issues such as the availability of the ingredient in the COVID-19 in the food production process right now. So most of the time I create the formula for the new product which you see in the grocery. That's what am I doing.
Oh my gosh, that is so cool. I have a sweet spot, yes, pun intended, for some of the products, and I'm very familiar with them as someone who I feel like Give & Go has been really big as well, growing up Canadian here, that they're kind of that party food that you would bring. And there's something a little bit magical about creating sweets and baked goods that I just don't think you get from other products. So it's really cool that you are able to work on these types of things.
Yeah, that's what I feel too. I love it so much.
With you saying that about what you love about it, is there just anything that you would like to share that why you do love your job?
Well, first of all, before starting everything, I love cooking and baking. I love it. I love to spend time in the kitchen. I love to create the food. Like it's one of the way to have me to release my stress. I'm just happy in my zone. I'm happy with that. So I'm doing this job. I have a chance to baking, but it's increased a lot of the skill like problem solving, and you have to be really creative. That's the one I love in this job because you don't know what happened when you're doing the formula. That the texture, the flavors, everything is changed just because you're changing a little bit of thing. Baking and cooking is not only just like you follow the recipe, it's also related to the chemistry, the biology. There's a lot of things in there, and you have to think about it and you have to try to figure out like how to make the best thing. I love it because I can be creative, I can be doing a new thing every day.
Wow, that sounds really nice. And what I'm wondering too is in terms of, because one of the things that is a big difference that I've been told, at least for like food manufacturing, is even though you can do like a small batch in your kitchen and all that, that things don't work out the same way once you go into the large scale. Have you
Yeah.
ever like had some of those problems when you were working?
It's happened all the time. It's really happened all the times. So when I'm studying at Niagara, I have a chance to work at research department at Niagara. So a lot of food company which don't have the R&D department, they will come to Niagara. So we fix that problem. We create the product for them. So when I'm doing Niagara as an assistant, I just have a chance to do it in the lab, but I don't have a chance to do it in the trial, like a big scale. So when I'm working Give and Go, I have a chance to do that. I create a nice thing in the lab, but when it's running in the trial, we have to do many times. We have to figure out what the problem. Like just look at the mixing, the equipment, or just like random when people don't understand the whole process. When you're doing that, it's not only you focus the formula, you have to communicate with the marketer, the production, the engineer, like to let them know, okay, it's my process, is the product I want to make, and have to make them understand your product and they can have you, because you could not have all the knowledge about the chemical or like the engineer, the equipment. But like you have a lot of people willing to have you. We need to communicate with that person to figure out the problem too. So working here teach me a lot about that.
Did you find it hard when you first started working communication? Because I know for some people, it can be really difficult to, ask questions, especially to people you don't know, or especially if you're in a new role. Like, you don't want to seem like incompetent, even though you really don't know. So, did you find that a struggle, or did you just get at it?
I think it's a great question. I think it's like many people have that problem. When I first start, because I'm the international student, I came to Canada with my English is my second language. I have a lot of problem with making question too, because in Vietnam, or I think in any way, when people make question, we feel like ourselves like we're so dumb, we don't know anything. But like it's okay to make question. I feel even this one, even a stupid question is better than nothing. You tell people your passion is mean like you don't understand it, you want to moving forward, you want to learn more, you want to make it success, because we have the same goal and we want to get the product. So I need to understand it. I have, because I'm new to the company, sometimes I don't know like whole story what they're talking about. Sometimes they just forgot that, oh, I'm a new person. They don't know like I'm really know about it or not. So I have to make question like, hey, what is that? So what's the name you mentioned here? Is that the supplier or the company? Hey, what are the part of the equipment? What is that? Like I think if you're willing to learn and you're willing to ask, people will willing to answer you.
That's good to know because I think as students listening to this that they have to be reminded of it because I'll be honest, I've struggled a lot with it. In a weird way, I struggled less with it when I was first a student and I found it more difficult to ask questions as I was in my job because at the very beginning I was like, "Oh, I'm definitely new. Everyone will know I need to ask questions." But as I went on, I felt like I already should know, like let's say 6 months in, I'm re-asking the same questions and I felt like that was a little bit of a difficulty for me. Did you ever find something like that or no?
Yeah, your brain is just left out that you could not remember everything, especially the thing you never do that frequently, right?
Mhm.
So like I think it's okay to make a question again. Usually when I'm studying, I was sitting in my professor office. So for example, the due of the deadline is 6 p.m. I will sit there until 6 to like, hey, is that the right answer? Am I doing wrong? I keep asking question many times. My professor just laugh at me like, oh, but they accept it. They know that I want to learn. So now I got a really good relationship with them. Then with the question you say like, is that okay to make a question after the time? I think like we just be honest. I can go to my professor or my boss and say, "Hey, I'm sorry. I know you mentioned this before, but like I just forgot it. Can you re-mention it again?" Like I think they accept it. Like we be honest. They don't want us to do the job which we don't understand it and we mess up and they have to clean it later. We just be honest to understand the process so we can do it good and they don't have to redo it again. I think they accept it.
Yeah, I think it's funny as I've become a TA myself, like a teaching assistant for courses, I'm always telling the students, like, ask me questions. I want you to succeed. So I don't know why I always think the opposite. I'm like, why would I keep asking the same question when I definitely don't mind if students ask me questions because like you just said, they want you to succeed, especially at a food company. It's better to ask a seemingly stupid and even no question should be stupid, but if it's a simple question, if you didn't get an answer properly, it could potentially lead to some disasters along the line if you try to fake it like you know it.
I still remember when we studied science. So we have a lot of term in science we don't know. So let's have one word and my professor say it and I don't know what is that. And I'm just like, hey, sorry, can you please spell it? Because I don't know. This is my right to ask it because I'm an international student. I don't know how to write. And even I'm a Canadian, even I don't know how to write, I still can ask. And just only my professor and another student in the class can spell it. The rest of the class don't know. So I feel like sometimes we feel like our question is a dumb question, but a lot of people sit around you have the same dumb question like you, which you don't know, right? So
That's true. It's true.
just make question. That's fine. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay when you don't know about it because we could not know everything, right?
There it's for sure, and especially in the food industry, there's so much information, like in, like, one recipe for a baked good, for example, you could go in so many different avenues, like, how does the butter react in this formula? How does the protein act in this formula? And, like, as a student, like, 4 years or 2 years or whatever your degree is, it's just not enough, and you're always gonna constantly be learning because like, the industry is always changing.
Yes, yeah. So I'm just like, it's okay. It's okay. And I will joke to like my boss or my professor, like, I'm sorry for bothering you a lot, but I will keep bothering you when I have questions. And they knew it. They will knew it when I come. They're like, hey, I have that. Can I have question about it? They knew it. And they know that I'm trying to improve. I try to like do this job.
You've mentioned a few times is that you were an international student and we kind of jumped into the role that you're doing. I would love to know why you even decided to go into the food industry and maybe you could walk me through that journey of just how you got from, I'm assuming Vietnam, and then coming here and then deciding this is what you want to do. I would love to know more about that.
Yeah, this is a story I keep telling people for many years. But like, so when I'm in Vietnam, I finished my high school and I start going to university, but I don't know what I want. I really like don't want to like spend my whole life with something I don't like. And I saw a lot of people around me, even my parents. I don't know if that they really happy with their job or not, or they just do this to earn money and survive. I don't want that. I want every day I'm going to work, I'm happy. I'm happy doing what I love. So I go back to myself, talking to myself, and I find even the simple thing, what I'm good at, what I want to spend all the time to do it is cooking, baking. I want to do that. And I make decision, okay, I want to go to Canada because in Vietnam it's developing country, but I want to learn more. I want to like have something to compare, have something to like for myself. I want to go outside, out of the box and learn. So and also in Vietnam, we don't have like really popular programs about the one I want to learn. So a lot of people ask me why I love cooking and baking. I didn't choose to be a chef. I really admire people who can be a chef because they work so hard and even it's a stress, it's a really stress job, but they really love it. They work so hard. I know myself, like my physical, I'm small. I could not think I can handle that stress like 12 hours stay in the kitchen. I could not do that. But
Yeah.
I want to follow something still related to food. So I'm just go with like food industry. I'm not even know that we have the program for food developer because they don't popular in Vietnam. It's not popular in Vietnam. So I just go. So actually, I got the letter acceptance from Western University when I just first came to Canada. And I studied English at Western because my English at that time is so bad, even now. So I studied at Western. And even I finished the English class, I can go to directly study the program, but I'm still scared. I'm just like, oh my God, I don't know, can I handle that academic thing? Because I know myself, I prefer something hand-on. So I'm just like, okay, step by, I can go to college. I will slow, but I want to be just step by step, but don't want to waste money for 4 years in university. And I realized that I don't love it. So I'm applied to Niagara. And I think it's a good choice because Niagara have me to try everything, like be a QA or food developer or in the micro. I try all of them and I figured out, okay, I love to be a food developer. So I just keep going. If everyone, when they ask me like, okay, how you can like be happy like that, I say just do the one you love. A lot of my friends study abroad and they still go back to Vietnam and they saw me with all of my social media and they said that, okay, why like you always happy like that? I really wish that I can be happy like you. Just pick the one you love.
That's amazing. Honestly, I really commend your courage to be able to do something like that. When I was deciding on my college, and at one point I was deciding between college and university, and I could not have the courage to go abroad. It was something that I was scared of doing, and I don't know if it was to my detriment or maybe it's not. I'm pretty happy with the path I've chosen, but to have the courage to go across the world to a new country, and really think about what you would enjoy. Like that takes a lot of introspective of just thinking about things. And I don't know, I just I can't keep help but saying like it's a really courageous story. And it's nice to hear that your friends have also noticed that you haven't regretted this choice and you're actually like genuinely enjoying it.
Yeah, I think it's really good choice. Like even for the beginning, my mom doesn't like when I moved from university to college because in their mind, like university is still better than college, but it's different than here, right? It's
Mhm.
have a lot of problem with the family and try to explain to them. But it took me 3 years to let them know that it's my choice, a good choice. If I keep believing that, if I keep doing it, because I believe I can do that. I believe like I'm doing what I love. So it's you will get it if you keep following it.
We've been talking about Niagara College, but we actually didn't actually say what program it was explicitly.
Oh,
Yeah, so, like, maybe just talk about what the program is and, like, why you ended up choosing Niagara.
yeah. So Niagara, this program is Culinary Innovation and Food Science Technology. So I still learn about the culinary. I still learn how to bake, how to cook, but I still learn about the other side, about the QA, the HACCP law, and we have to create a new product, the product developer. We still have to do micro bacteria, a lot of things. We do all of that. So it means like I sometimes I feel like I'm studying double degrees, not just like a advanced diploma. But I really enjoy the time in there.
For my graduate degree, like, my degree name is molecular science, but it's just, like, this really broad term. I study food emulsions, so for me, I'm a little bit of a physicist rather than a chemist, but I've always talked to anyone, when it comes to food science, it's one of the broadest but amazing kind of industries. So I know that you talked about culinary and it wasn't explicitly food science, but you're right. There's so much to food. There's that micro component, there's the chemistry, there's the physics of things, there's the HACCP, there's like it's just all encompassing. So it does, I could imagine, feel like double degrees.
Yeah, I think like for the beginning, I think like why is have culinary innovation here? Because a lot of my friends pick this program, they not even know how to fry the egg, but like after that they know how to cook a lobster. But I think the thing they add the culinary in the program because when you making the stuff in the lab, if you have a little bit of culinary skill, it will help you a lot. You will see the difference. You will know like what is the faster way, what is the easy way to do it because you have the experience about you have the culinary skill before, so it help you do it faster. if you do a food developer. That's what I think they Niagara want to build a person not only like know about like old science, also know about how to make a good food and make the work is easier.
So tell me, when you said that you liked baking and that was kind of a thing, what type of baked goods did you make? Because they're kind of broad.
Um, the baking, I do all the cake like for the beginning in Vietnam. I just read all the recipe online and I try a couple of them and I figure out okay, which one is the best one and okay, which one I should combine. But here I learn about why I have to use that. Well, like some are Western, some are Asian. It just depends on my mood if I do it at home. But at even go my product is doing right now at the cookie. So all the cookie you see at the Walmart and the other grocery is from my department.
You're kind of a person who talks about how networking is so important, especially during school. Could you explain to me where that idea of focusing on network has come from and especially like how you did it when you were in school?
I think I a little bit easier than people because I'm kind of like open than a lot of people who introvert. But as that realize this is an honor story. I think a lot of people who study abroad can have it. Even like it's not like exact doing that, but people still have a little bit prefer for white people, not international students who speak English better. So I feel like no, I need to jump in there. I need to show for people like I can do it too. I'm not just come here for nothing. I have the knowledge. I want to show myself like I did that too. It's not just like show up nothing. I have something, so I want to show to people. So I want people to respect me. I think that the first thing come from me. I want to try my best, and the second, I feel like the communication is really important. First of all, I came here for no one else. I don't know anyone else around me. It's a new country. It's a lot of new things I don't know. And people who stay here longer than me, they have more experience than me. I can talk to them. I can build a connection to them so they can share the story with me. They teach me how to do that because they have the experience before. So I don't have to spend or waste my time to retry it and have the lesson for myself again. So it save time. And the second is when I build a connection with people, it's helped me first of all improve my English. And second, it's have the connection later when you're working or you have any problem you want to learn. You know people you can ask questions because we could not know everything. As we mentioned before, find you should have like a group of people who you can ask questions. So that's why I'm trying to build my connection. I try to do that. And I got this job because I got the referral from my professor because she's in the industry longer than me. I'm the one here, right? I just graduated. And why I can get this job in a big company like that? Because I have the connection. Because my professor studied with me 3 years and she know me. She know who I am. She know like how try I really work hard and really try hard. And when she got any offer from the company, hey, do you know anyone's like you want to refer about the company, like to work with the company? And she like feel confident to give my name because she know she believe in me because I show her everything and the company believe in her. So like I got the interview and I got the job.
That's
So I
great.
think
Amazing.
and so I think like the the communication when you build the connection, it's not only for the job, it's for every job now like you working, even you go into grocery. If I go into the same grocery and I tell you, okay, this food is great, you should try because I tried before, I have the experience. So you don't have to waste time to pick in a ton of them, which one is the best one. So it's save time. I think like everything in life we have to try to know. But if you have a person you can believe and they give you advice, you just pick it. You don't have to waste time to try again.
That's great advice. And, I might be starting to age. I don't know. But as I get older, I start to really, I've been thinking about things that I've learned over time because I'm getting on the older end of being in school, and I really have come to really embrace some of the advice that I've been given, and now I can see the perspectives of why someone would give that to me. And as well, one thing I have to highlight with what you're mentioning is that you got the referrals through one of your professors, and I think that students might not realize how important. I always advocate on the show network. Honestly, one of the best places to start is just focusing on your school with your professors. They could be a part of the industry, like what you mentioned, or they could be doing research or something like that, and a lot of them are really happy to be able to talk to you about these types of things.
I really agree with that because a lot of my friends they keep saying, no, they like my professors, oh, I could not like, they don't know about that. I said, no, they have more experience in there. Even now, they're not in the food industry, but they know who in the industry who can help you. Just go for it. Just talk
Yeah.
to them.
Exactly. And even like with the things when you're in school and all that, even just going to your professors and asking for help, it not only helps you connect with them, it helps you build confidence, to what we were talking about before, asking questions. Get comfortable asking questions to your professor. A lot of times they have office hours and no one ends up showing up. So sometimes you can have like a free reign of them for like a full hour because that's what they're there for. And
Yeah.
it's a lot less intimidating because your professor is gonna be there for, depending on your program, sometimes they teach multiple years, but for sure at least 4 months, and some of the most memorable things experiences I've had through university is just, talking with my professors and learning about the cool stuff that they do.
Yeah, yeah. I think like it's great. I always tell my friends, hey, don't ask me the answer of the lesson. You should ask the professor. You know why? Because they are the person who make the question. And they also the person who knows the right answer, the answer they want to listen. If you ask me, I will give you my answer, but it's maybe not the one the professor wants. So just go directly to the person who make question to ask question.
For sure. Like, that's another thing because I've also as someone who's taught, you can also figure out who one person gets the answer from another person, and then they're all wrong.
Yeah, yeah, they're all wrong, right? So like that's why my professor just say, if you got the mark, just go directly to me to ask question. Don't go through other people because maybe each lab report is a different thing. You should come to me and explain to me why you did that because I need to understand you too. Like I need to understand why you did that. We will find the main thing in the middle. Okay, what I want and what you should do. Well, you got the mark, right? So I think you should talk to the right person. That's the key part.
It is true, it is true. College, university, any school that you're in, just, like, make good relationships with your professors, and sometimes for me as well, they can act as a reference in the future, and you might like, with people as well, I think that, again, this is another point as well. I was nervous to ask a professor for a recommendation after I'd graduated for a year to go back to grad school, and they were more than happy to do it. When people think that professors forget about them, but if you have a really solid relationship, you can talk to them years down the line.
Yeah. Now I even sometimes I visit my professor at their house. Oh yeah. They can be your friend. They can be your friend after you graduate. They will be your friend, your old friend. They have like more friends than you. Every time I got interview or I finding a job, they have me a lot. They okay, now you should do that. Okay, now you should ask that. They really great at it.
Yeah, for sure. That also makes me wonder too, you might have already touched upon this, but when you did get into the industry, graduating from Niagara College, did you find that you had any difficulties? I know you did have this referral, but did you have any difficulties finding a job or any difficulties with that transition from going to school to the workplace?
Definitely yes. Even I got the referral, it still took me like 3 months doing nothing and just apply a job. Sometimes I just like, oh my god, I got couple interview, but I was like, did I do it right? Why do you want to do that? Do I have a lot of questions for myself. Like I got a good mark, I did everything, but how can I get a job? Even especially during the COVID right now, right? People people just keep fighting a lot of entry level job you see, but they always ask for 2 to 5 year experience. okay, I'm sorry, I'm just graduated. I should have experiment. So it's a time where we struggle to just finding a job and like keep ourselves be positive, keep going, keep doing it, keep finding a job, keep applying, keep preparing. And I feel like when I have a chance for any interview, it's okay to fail or get a job. I have another chance in a real life to practice my communication, my interview. And after that, I will have a lesson. Okay, next time, if I got this question, I should answer like that. I have more prepared for myself, so I got a better for the next time. It's also hard for me now, even now when I'm working, because I'm living downtown and my head office is close to the airport. I don't have car. I just graduate, international student too. It's hard for me. Like every time travel like 1 hour and a half. But let's go back to the story. If you have a good communicate, if you talk with people, I found my coworker who lived close to me 5 minutes, so I talked to her and she drive me to work every morning. So I think everything happened for a reason. Just keep going. Just keep doing that. It will be hard, especially this time because it's COVID. You have to see the thing in the many side because everything happened. You have many side to see it. Sometimes the good side, sometimes bad side. But try to find the positive way to do because you cannot do anything. I could not just stay at home doing nothing and eat, feel guilty about myself. Like, I wait a lot of money from my parents and I'm just staying at home doing nothing and I could finding a job. But if I keep saying that, okay, I will keep doing it. You should try. It's not the right place for me. If I keep doing it, I will find the good one. I have to motivate myself a lot because if I just negative, I cannot do anything.
Wow. Wow, there's so many things to highlight. First of all, the fact again, bringing out that communication and talking to people and genuinely, to be able to talk about where they live and all that. I know having a conversation like that something had to have clicked and flowed and all that. But one of the things that's like standing out to me a lot, Chloe, is that you just have this confidence to you and it's really inspiring. And I'm just wondering, where does that come from?
Like as I say, I'm doing what I love, and why I think what I love is just like I spending more time to do it and I got more success. It's same when you doing something. For example, when I'm baking and I got a nice cake. For the couple time, I feel confident when I do that because I get used to it. I know how to do that. I can, okay, it's great. It's just the first time it's hard, like because you not know like can you do it or not. But after you have a little more experience, a little bit more success, you're like, okay, you can do it. Same with asking question or talking with people. Even when I practice my English talking with people, it's like, okay, the first time I talk, people, okay, they understand. So my pronoun is not that bad. So I just keep talking and just keep practicing and improve my confidence more about this. And after I have like enough confidence in a couple thing, I was like, okay, Chloe, every first time it will be hard. But if you get over to it, even if fail or not, you will have a lesson to do it better in the future. So that's why I just keep going. It scared me for the first time in Canada too. It scared me when I'm just going to the class with no Vietnamese people around me. It scared me with a lot of things when I'm from Niagara, I go to Toronto. It's a big city. And even now, at work, it's a big comedy. I have no Vietnamese people there, but I'm confident that, okay, I can talk with people. It's okay. It's just like, we just need to go over the first time. And then later we have a lesson and we can do it. That's why I say you have to think it positive. This situation is happened. It's happened right now. You have many ways to deal with it. But if you think it's negative, it will feel like you totally like will waste a lot of things. But if you think it's positive, you will find a way. My mom always said that everything always have the solution. It's just you accept it or not. That's why I say if you fail, it's okay. If people don't understand you, say it again. Say it slower. Like retry it. It's okay. Just redo it. It's just you accept your fail. You want the lesson. You want to improve it or not.
Wow, there's so much to unpack with that type again, it's just I don't even know what to say because I feel like what you've been saying so much, you've been leading this conversation in a positive energy that I think that honestly, I've kinda haven't heard for a while. I feel like with everything that has been going on, a lot of people have been very negative about a lot of things, and just hearing someone who's so positive about what they're doing, taking every situation, looking at it from a different perspective, and I know that, we're recording the podcast right now and, probably there would be times that, yeah, you did have that maybe you had, like, a downtime, but it seems as you go down, you bring yourself back up and try to learn from your experiences. Because, for example, you were mentioning about the interviews, not hearing back or maybe not doing well, you were using it to improve on the next one. Would you maybe be able to talk about something that happened in one interview that you were able to learn and grow for the next one?
I'm new, so I don't know what question they will ask me in the interview because each interview is different. So first of all, if I got in the interview, okay, the positive thing, I have the question, so I can have something to prepare in the next interview. This is the first one. And the second one, I can understand the flow and get the people emotion when they listen to my answer, they really like it, or they want something more, or they okay with that. And so I know that okay, later I can change this or keep going or just speak a little bit or just focus on what. And also it's okay, it's improved my confidence when talking with people like manager or HR about the people you don't know. Like try to just sell yourself. I feel like you have to show yourself to people, but in a nice way, in the way they want to listen, how to answer the question. So I got many interview for the being a QA or food developer, and I feel like QA. I try it, and I realize I don't know I really love it or not. But after the interview, I feel like no, I'm not really like it. And I talked with my professor, hey, please, I know you like me so much, but don't refer me for some job like that. I know it's waste time. You just give me for other people who need it more than me because I want to focus on food developer. Like I really like what I love. And it's okay. It's a try. It's for me to know like what I love. And even with the job, I don't get it. I said, okay, I got a lot from it. So I will improve later.
That's a really good thing to point out as well because they say with interviews, it's not just for them to interview you. It's also for you to figure out if you would be a good fit for the company because if you feel that already off the bat you get a bad vibe from the interview process, it's really a big flag that you probably won't like that role because something in you just says that this isn't right for you. So it's good to just learn from that experience and take it and even a bad interview can be a good learning process.
Yeah, I think like actually we got a lot from the interview, even it's fair or not, because like we talking with the people who good at that, like the HR or like the manager about the job. So they spend time, expert people spend time to talk with you, to ask you the question which you should know later in the future. You should answer it. So like they just prepare the question for me, so I know. Okay, I should prepare the question. I should prepare the answer for it. So later, if I got the question like that, I'm ready because I got the first time already, right? Not
Mhm.
scared anymore.
Well, it's always a little bit scary, but it just gets you a little more accustomed to how each person kind of goes.
Yeah.
So we are coming to the end of the show, but I know you've given tons of great advice. But if I was to ask you the question, if you could only give one piece of advice for students looking to go into the food industry, what would that be?
Please find something you love and follow it because every success is always start with a dream. So just follow with the one you love and be clear with the heart and the mind. It's about to like earn money for your life, not like follow for nothing, but just follow the thing you love and try your best and you will get it.
I like that. And I'm going to leave it there because I want people to really just take that in what you just said because I think it's a great advice. And I think with your journey so far, it's really been a testament to the courage that you've taken to follow that. And, I can tell from this conversation that you really do love what you do. So, everyone, you got to listen. So, with that, thank you so much, Chloe, for coming on the show. This was like a really positive boost that I needed, that I just wanted. I don't know. I'm coming out of this conversation more pumped than ever and just really reminding myself about what I want to do, like graduate school and all that, just hearing your ambitions. So before I let you go, could you let us know if people wanted to find you, where could we find you?
They probably can find me on LinkedIn. If they want to contact with me, I will check my phone like every time. So just like text me because I will check my phone.
Okay, well, you heard it there. So once again, thank you so much, Chloe, for coming on the show. This hour was really nice and just a lovely way to get some positive energy that I think we all need.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I know like I don't have more experience in the food industry than a lot of manager, HR, like or other people, but I think I can bring people a little bit motivation for what they are doing because we are the same journal, we just keep doing it, right?
That was episode 40 of the FoodGrads Podcast. All the notes to this podcast can be found on the FoodGrads blog or by clicking on the Student and Grads tab on the homepage. There you can find any notes to past or future episodes. Do you know anyone you would like me to interview on the show? Perhaps yourself? Or maybe a specific career path you would like me to explore? Then reach out to me and let me know. You can email me at veronica@foodgrads.com or any of the FoodGrads social media channels. Hope to hear from you. Wow, hearing Chloe talk about her career journey so far is so inspiring. You can just hear how passionate she is about product development and just how much it excites her. I love how she lives by her words of going out and talking to people and not being afraid to ask questions. It takes a lot of courage to do what she has done, and I'm excited to see what her next steps are in her career journey. But after talking with Chloe, I think it really demonstrates how you can get farther in not only your career, but just in life in general by asking questions, being curious, and just moving forward. After talking with her, it really just got me so fired up about my own thesis and just going for it. So I have to say, Chloe's positive energy is infectious, and I hope you too are fired up to do some great things after listening to this episode. Anyways, that's it for this week's episode. Thank you everyone so much for listening, and I will see you next time.